Well, good evening. My name is Beck Jovis. I'd like to welcome you to our Create Your Own Freedom WA event. And tonight is the 20th of June 2017. If you're watching this link, someone has offered it to you, and they may think that what we're talking about tonight might resonate with you. So thank you for taking the time to have a look at this business opportunity and product opportunity. My husband and I have been involved with Juice Plus for over 12 months now, and the product has really changed the health of our family, and the business opportunity has changed the finances in our family. We all know that the world is changing faster than ever. The workplace is really changing. The jobs are really changing. And we see it all around us in Kmart and Coles. Jobs are being replaced by machines, basically, and job satisfaction is at an all-time low, and job security is as well. And we know the cost of living is certainly not decreasing. So there's a lot of pressure around finances at the moment. And I have a real heart for helping people find financial freedom, because I know that financial stress can really destroy families. So maybe that is something that resonates with you and your situation right now. About a year ago, I was introduced to this business by my friend Belinda. I was travelling around Australia with my husband and two beautiful kids in our caravan. And I was feeling so unhealthy. I was being woken up, 4 or 5 times a night, most nights. Being in a caravan, it's hard to not hear babies stirring. And I was just really living on coffee and chocolate and feeling just so healthy. I'd put on lots of weight and I just had no energy. If the kids were kicking the ball, I'd just take that as an opportunity just to sit down and take a breath. So I was really struggling, and I was looking for a solution for my own health at that time. And when I saw a post that my friend Belinda put up about increased energy, I immediately contacted her and said, "What is this stuff?" And it's just gone from there. So she told me about the business opportunity as well. And for my situation, I'm really passionate about spending time with my kids. I'm a mum who's lost 2 babies before the 2 that we have now. So I was really passionate about spending time with my kids. I was a high school teacher, and I really didn't want to do relief teaching around Australia. But I also wanted to contribute financially to our family. So this business was really one that ticked all the boxes for us. And a year later, we've decided to settle down in beautiful Dunsborough. And I've got a business that's helping us transition financially into this new chapter of our lives. So I'm really excited about the future for my family, and I'm really excited to be able to share this opportunity with other families. My husband too is a builder, but he was really wanting to make a change in his career. But as you know, when we've got bills, we often just stay in the jobs that we do because the bills need to be paid. So I'm looking forward to retiring him from building so that he can pursue the things that he actually is passionate about. So today we're going to be sharing some stories with you about how lives have been transformed, not only by the product, but also by the business opportunity. So stick around to hear those stories. I'm really grateful that I've found this. It really has changed, like I said, our health, but also our future. Like, I'm now excited about our future, whereas before I was just thinking, how are we going to ever get ahead? So I'd like to introduce now beautiful mum, Rachel. She's going to share a little bit more about our amazing products and what they've done for her and her beautiful son. Thanks, Rach.
No worries, Beck. Thanks so much for having me share tonight. I guess my background, for those of you who don't know me, I am a nurse and I am an educator in nursing at the moment. I'm also a single mum to an 11-year-old boy. So before I was introduced to the products, I was balancing full-time work around my son's school hours, and you know, I already knew the value of fruits and veggies, and so I guess it wasn't a surprise to me that eating fruits and veggies is good for your health. But I guess from a consistency point of view, I was struggling to get the 7 to 10 recommended serves per day into our diets, and especially into my son at the time, who was really just refusing to eat vegetables. So I, at that time, was just dragging myself through the day. I was just trying to survive. I was often just skipping breakfast in my rush to get out the door, stopping at the bakery along the way to school, and then, you know, drinking several coffees a day just to get through the day. I was having really big afternoon slumps, and I also had a lot of pain from endometriosis. So that's been a long-standing illness for me, and I was taking pain relief every day for that, to control the pain. I wasn't able to exercise because the pain was too bad, and I was just trying to survive, really. So I was super keen to give it a go when I was introduced to it by Beck, and within about 3 days I noticed a huge improvement in my energy. In fact, I noticed it the most in the morning. I would wake up and actually feel like I was awake. I didn't feel like I needed to fuel my body with caffeine to get started. I also noticed a huge difference after lunch, when I would normally have an afternoon slump and start to crave sugary foods or coffee. I didn't have that, and my head was a lot clearer. I could concentrate better at work. I was sleeping better at night, and I felt like I was coping a lot better with stress. So for me, you know, it just made sense. The energy alone was enough to win me over. So basically, the product is capsules, and they have fruits, veggies, and berries in them. So you've got the veggies, the fruit, and the berries, and they basically have been around for over 25 years. They have over 26 different fruits, veggies, and berries in the capsules. They've also been studied over the last, 30 years, and there's over 30 peer-reviewed medical journals now on these products, and they're pharmaceutical grade studies that have been obviously selected by medical journals and peer-reviewed by experts in the field to make sure that the research is sound. So that's amazing from a medical point of view, and really struck a chord with me. What stood out for me in that research was and systemic experiencing. As you know, systemic inflammation is responsible for a lot of chronic diseases, and so it makes sense that if we increase fruits and veggies, we're going to improve our health. What it is, this product is not an insurance policy that you're not going to get sick, but it's basically an opportunity to bridge the gap between what you're able to fuel your body with and what your body actually needs. The other thing that stood out for me in the research was the safety of the product. There's no labels or warnings on this product. It doesn't say you can't take it at different age groups or if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. So it's safe for the whole family, whether you're a child or an adult. So that's awesome. Lots of people have asked me over the last year, what the difference is then between these products and your normal vitamins and supplements. And I guess the main thing is that that vitamins that you buy over the counter are made up synthetically, and they're basically fractured nutrients. So they're hard for your body to recognize and actually absorb. And I don't know if you've experienced it, but when you take those vitamins, you usually have bright yellow wee about half an hour or an hour after you take them. That's just your body not absorbing those products and actually them just being excreted in your urine. What you find, what Juice Plus is, it's organically grown fruits and veggies, and it basically, because it's whole foods, your body can recognize the nutrients and absorb them. So it's absorbed into the bloodstream within about 20 to 30 minutes of taking it. And you notice that, I notice it anyway, as soon as I've taken it in the morning, you're flooded with these nutrients. So how they grow it is they actually pick the produce at its full ripeness. So they leave it on the vine until it's fully ripe. Then they harvest it and they pulp it. So they use the skin and the flesh and everything of the fruit, veggies and berries. And they basically then dehydrate it under low temperatures so that they don't damage any of the nutrient content. And they end up with a powder. And to protect the powder from oxygen, they actually put it into a capsule. I'll just show you these little capsules. So there's veggies are the green ones, berries are the purple, and the fruits are the pinky coloured ones. So they put them in the capsules just to protect them from the oxygen. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the capsules. The amazing thing about this company, though, is that it is family friendly, and they actually offer a children's product. So they actually have created gummies in the fruits and the veggies, and these are awesome for adults who don't like taking capsules, but also for children. So this is what they look like: fruits and veggies. They're really squishy and they're really, really yummy. I often have to steal my son's, especially in the afternoon. They're yummy. Anyway, children who have parents that are on the products can actually receive their gummies for free, which is just an amazing benefit that this company offers families. And I just think it's wonderful that they're sort of helping families to instill this sort of food culture with their children and just flooding children with nutrients. The other product that is available is the complete powders. These powders are basically a vegan protein, and so plant-based protein, and they're full of whole foods, but they've got a lot of those superfoods like ancient grains, spirulina, alfalfa sprouts, mushroom powder, ancient grains. They've got a whole heap of stuff: quinoa, pomegranate, yucca powder, and so they're just packed with all this nutritional. Have them yourself. They actually taste just like a milkshake. So I've found these a lifesaver for me in the mornings. I actually use them as my breakfast because I just found that was my meal that I really struggled to make good choices with, or I often skipped. So I just make one of these as I'm going out the door. I carry it with me in the car, and I know that I'm fueling my body with, nearly 2 to 3 serves of vegetables in that one sachet. So they're amazing, and they're awesome for people who are training to use, or if you're struggling with skipping meal, like your lunch at work, or in the afternoons if you're having like a little bit of a slump, or even at night. If you're just feeling like something a bit sweet, you could have one of these, and you know that you're just filling your body with great nutrition. The other thing that is a benefit that the company offers is this amazing program called the Juicy Body Transformation Program. It's free for all customers, and there's over 200 recipes in this program that are available to people. And there's also exercise programs, gratitude journals, there's meal plans and shopping lists, and just hundreds and hundreds of different recipes so that you don't have to feel deprived when you're eating clean. It just is an amazing resource for families to help build sustainable, healthy lifestyle changes. So we're just so lucky and blessed to have this available to us as a bonus when we are accessing the products. So thanks so much for having me share, Beck. I'm going to introduce you now to a beautiful lady, Yvette, who is going to share with us her experience of using the products. Thanks, Yvette.
Cool, thanks, Rach. So I've been taking Juice Plus now for about just on 6 months. And the reason why I started taking Juice Plus was a couple of reasons. I was actually suffering at the end of last year with some postnatal depression. And I was feeling quite down within myself. I'd just come out of a job after being on maternity leave that was quite stressful for me. And I just felt like I was just continuously, like there was this fog in my head. I just always felt really tired. it was then affecting my marriage. It was then affecting my health as well. And it made my psoriasis flare up quite badly as well, to the point where it got into my scalp, and my scalp, I would pick at it so badly that it would bleed. From that as well, my hair would fall out. So I kind of felt like I was falling apart a little bit. So then Juice Plus came into my life, and I started taking the product, and literally within probably the first month, I felt like I had a heap more energy than I did before. I felt like I was awake again. I could go to work in the morning, sit at my desk and at my computer, and I wasn't falling asleep. Probably within about 2 months or so, my psoriasis had cleared up. And now 6 months on, you wouldn't have even known that I'd have psoriasis. It's completely gone. Also with my postnatal depression, about 3 to 4 months in, I was off my medication completely. I felt like I had, my anxiety had really calmed down. I felt like I was a lot more calm within myself. I felt like I could handle situations better. And after going to the doctor, I just didn't need it. And probably the two highlights for me in the last month was going to my doctor, him asking me whether I needed another script for any creams for my psoriasis, and being able to, with a big smile on my face, say no thank you. That was pretty awesome. And he wanted to know what I'd been doing, because he was quite surprised at how well it cleared up after years of seeing it the way it was. And the second one was getting my hair cut, and my hairdresser being completely stunned at the full transformation in my hair. Going from what she would class my hair as being thin and very wispy, to she said she would actually class me as having thick hair now. And she could actually hold the strands of my hair up and see the growth and the difference in the growth from the ends that were quite thin to the new growth coming back nice and thick, and my hair doesn't fall out anymore. So I'm really, really glad that I found these products. It's been absolutely amazing. So thanks, Rach.
Wow. Thank you so much, Yvette. That's amazing, that your story about your psoriasis and your hair growth. That's so good. And thank you, Rach, too, for sharing about our products and a bit about how it's impacted your family. There's so many great stories about how families are being transformed by these products. It's just so exciting to hear. We're all so different, and our bodies need different things. We're lacking different things, and our stories are so different, but they're all equally as exciting. So I'm actually going to hand back to Yvette. She's going to chat to us just briefly about some of the questions that people often have about a business like this, some perhaps skepticisms around it. So I'd like to hand back to you, Yvette, and just ask you to share a bit about that. Thanks so much.
No worries. Thanks, Beck. So yeah, as I was saying, like, I've been taking the product for about 6 months, and it's about the same amount of time that I'm also been in the business as well. The business also came into my life at that same pain point where I was just feeling quite lost within myself. Like I didn't know where I was going or what I was doing. And I know that when I answered the post online to do with the business and the product, one of my main questions around that was, is this one of those pyramid schemes? And I can definitely tell you after 6 months in the business, even right from the word go, this is definitely not one of those pyramid schemes. Pyramid schemes were made illegal in the 70s, and Juice Plus has been around for close to 30 years now, and the company for 45 years. So if it was a pyramid scheme, I'm pretty sure that it would have been found out by now. I can tell you, though, from working in traditional businesses and owning traditional business myself, there's pyramids all around us. A lot of your big corporations are designed in the pyramid model, from government departments, daycare centres, retail chains, anything like that. After I'd had my traditional food business, which was a gourmet deli, I sold that to a supermarket, and I chose to stay on as a manager of that business as well. So if you have a look at the pyramid model, I'm just going to use that business as an example. I hope everyone can see that. So at the top here, this was a independently owned supermarket. So at the top we had the owner, and he was also the CEO. So he had about 10 stores all up through his chain. Under him, he had the general manager. So that general manager had also been working with that store owner for about 30 years. So they were very close friends and very close business partners. Under the general manager, we had operations managers or territory managers. So they would then look after 2 or 3. They all had their own little stores, and it was 2 or 3 stores that they had. Under the operations manager, every store had a store manager. Again, a lot of these operations and store managers had been working with this owner for anywhere between 10 to 30 years. Under the store managers was department managers, and that's what I fell into. So I became a department manager. Under the department managers, we all had a second in charge. So it was the person under us. And then under here, we had all the workers as well. Now, these guys all been with the owner for 20 to 30 years. There was literally no way as a little department manager down there that it was going to be a long time before I was going to be able to get up to there. Also, through here as well, during my time at that supermarket, and I worked there for about 5 years, I spent a lot of time doing extra work. I actually tried to learn everybody's department. I also made sure that I knew how to run all the reports in the supermarket. I even ran the store on a Sunday to give the store manager a day off. And this is talking a $500,000 per week to $1 million per week business. At the end of the 5 years, I left with nothing. I had a $1,000 bonus in that whole time I was there, and not one single pay rise. So all that hard work that I'd done was really, for me, although I gained some great skills, it wasn't recognised at all. So that was quite disappointing for me. And the difference with this business is you can't get to the top without helping somebody. Through that traditional business, obviously all the other department managers as well were quite, there was always that jealousy factor surrounding each department manager. And each department manager was only there for their own department. So they had no desire to help the next department. Whereas in this business, you've got to help someone to get ahead. Okay, you can't do this business and not help somebody out. So the model that we use is more that rectangle shape. So everybody starts down here as a virtual franchisee. So that's where we start. And we're all working our way up to the pinnacle position of NMD. So everybody, doesn't matter where you've come from, doesn't matter what your profession is, everybody starts at that position there. Okay, doesn't matter if you've known an NMD for the last 20, 30 years, you have to start down here. And you can't get up to NMD without helping somebody along the way. So that for me was a really big plus in this business as well. Sorry, I have children here running around as well. So I'd never worked in a business before where that was something that was, you had to help people basically. The other misconception that we have in this business is you have to know a lot of people. And I know that was a really big thing for me. I was really worried that I would have to be, talking to all my family and friends or going over someone's house and pulling out a presentation or a PowerPoint presentation. And that didn't appeal to me at all. So I was really glad to find that again, was not the case with this business. So we have something what we call the popcorn effect. And to demonstrate how that popcorn effect works. So as Beck explained in the beginning of the call, she was introduced to this business by Belinda. And she met Belinda and she contacted Belinda online, and Belinda introduced her to the business while she was traveling. And then Beck introduced the business to Gabby. Sorry, you can see that. And then Gabby introduced the business to Leah. And then Leah introduced the business to, let's just say, Jeanette down the bottom. Belinda also introduced the business to another 2 people. So Rhiannon and Rennell. And both Rennell and Rhiannon, so Rhiannon introduced the business to myself, Rennell to her sister Sally, Beck also introduced the business to her sister Rachel, and then I introduced the business to Casey. And meanwhile here, everybody's gaining customers as well. So as you can see, the whole thing started with Beck only knowing Belinda. And as time goes on and more people introduce people to the business and the product, it just organically grows. So it's like having a pot of popcorn on the stove. As the popcorn heats up, it will just naturally start to overflow. And even when you take it off the stove, that naturally just keeps flowing over and flowing over. So that's what I really loved about the business as well. And the other thing that you get from here is you're making genuine connections with people. So you might only start with knowing one or two people, but as time goes on, you've got a massive, massive network of friends within this business as well. So that's the story of the business there, Beck. I'll hand you back over.
Thank you so much, Yvette. I love hearing your little baby in the background. It's just such a great reminder that we do this around our kids. And yeah, you can be at home with your kids working. Yeah, it's another advantage to this business. So I'd like to introduce now Carlina. She's going to explain pretty quickly about how we get paid in this business, because it is a little bit different to traditional business. Thanks, Carlina.
Hi everyone, thanks Beck. So I'm going to talk to you tonight about how we get paid, and this is something that I really love to talk about because it's a direct reflection on how many people we've been able to help and how many lives we've been able to change. I also believe that it's truly hard to be healthy if you have financial stress in your life. So there are 3 ways we get paid. The first way is in retail. See that. This is the money that you make on your customer sales, and as your team grows their customer base, the money you make on their team sales as well. And the best thing about this is that we just have to connect the customers to Juice Plus, and they handle the rest. They handle the payment, they ship the product. We don't have to hold any stock. Unlike lots of other businesses where you have to hold stock, host parties and purchase stock, etc. We don't do any of that, which is amazing, and that was a really big thing for me. There's also no large startup costs or monthly minimums, which is great. And what I find is we're in the business of recommending. So it's much like when you go to see a really good movie or you go to a great restaurant and you just recommend that with your friends. And really that's what we do with Juice Plus. We're just recommending something that we love with our friends. So yeah, that's really great. Also, something else that I love is that we're able to grow this business in 27 countries, which is huge. We have a traditional business and we can only grow that here in Australia. So to be able to have something that I can do worldwide, it just blows my mind. The second way we get paid is in commission. That word's a bit long to write. This is the residual income or the passive income that you make in this business. As your customer base grows and their customer base grows, this is where you make what we call the beach money. And the reason that we call it the beach money is because you can be sitting on the beach somewhere sipping cocktails and there's still money landing in your bank account. Like, that's amazing. I just love that. That's one part that I love the most. The last way we get paid is bonuses. Now, who doesn't love a bonus? I know I do. And there's not too many jobs these days where you get paid in bonuses, but our company loves to reward us with bonuses. And as we reach levels and we help our team members reach certain levels, we get rewarded with bonuses. So I think that's pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. So that's the 3 ways that we get paid. And I'll hand back to you, Beck.
Thanks so much, Carlina. Yeah, it is. It's exciting to be getting paid in 3 different ways. So the last story we're going to have tonight is from Carlina. She's going to share a little bit about how the business came into her life and what it's doing in her family and for her family. So I'll pass back to you, Carlina.
No worries, thank you. So The business came into my life about 8 months ago. I was in a pretty bad place all round in my life, and a lot of that was to do with financial stress as well. We have a traditional business in mining, and because of the downturn in mining, business was really slow. And we've got 4 kids, and life with 4 kids can get really expensive. So, I was starting to get very stressed out, and I knew that I had to contribute somehow financially, but I didn't know how. I'd been a stay-at-home mum for 15 years, and really, who was going to employ me? I had no experience, and my job was to be a mum to my kids. I wanted to be there for school drop-off, for school pick-up, and everything else in between. And I needed something that could work around that. So when the business opportunity arose, it just made complete sense to me. I could do this around my life and help pay the bills as well. Like that was amazing. So within my first month of joining the company, I made $1,000, and that was the most rewarding feeling in the world. That, you know, after 15 years of earning nothing, I could actually go and pay a bill to help out and relieve some of the pressure off my partner. And that was just huge for me. And I know that things are only going to get better from here on in, that it's just an amazing company. Thanks, Beck.
Thanks so much, Carlina. Yeah, it is only the beginning. We're looking forward to what's ahead, that's for sure. Well, I'd like to thank everyone who shared tonight. It's it's a little bit daunting sometimes to share our stories, but it's also really great to share them, because something that someone has said tonight may resonate with where you're at in your life. So, I love that in this business we don't need to be experts. We all have different giftings, and we've all come from different backgrounds. So you don't need a specific skill set to be successful in this business. Our leaders have gone before us, and they've actually created a system that they teach us, and that ensures that we can be as successful as possible. So they provide us with free training online, and all we need to do is plug into that training and basically do what they tell us to do. It's as easy as that. So it's a very exciting opportunity. So I'm still pinching myself that I can earn money from home. And now that my kids are in school and I'm not in the caravan, I'm so grateful that I can go to assembly and see them do their little shows and, go to book week parades and whatever else I want to do, because I'm setting my own schedule. So thank you for listening wherever you are. And if you have any questions from the shares tonight or the product information, I urge you to get those questions answered. So the best way to do that is just to reach out to the person that sent this link to you and ask the questions. We all had lots of questions when we first heard about this, so there's no problem at all with asking questions. So I urge you to get your questions answered, because this could be exactly what you're looking for your health and also for your finances. So thank you again to everyone who's shared, and thank you again for taking the time to watch and to listen. So I'll sign off and say good night, and we'll see you all again soon. Thank you.